What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Bang4Buck Builds, the channel where we squeeze every last drop of performance out of every single dollar. Now, I know some of you are thinking, hey, didn't you say this channel was all about budget builds? Well, it is, and today we're going to do something a little different. It's a little bit personal. See, I recently upgraded my main rig, so I changed out the CPU to a Ryzen 7 9800X3D. I finally wanted to play with the big boys, which means my old parts didn't have a place to live anymore. They didn't disappear, but they're gonna get a second life. And that's exactly what this build is all about. Hand-me-down parts, strategic purchases, and one brand new GPU that's going to make your jaw drop when you find out how much you paid for it. Total damage on this machine, $852. That is excellent price to performance for what we're getting. Let's get into it. First up, Ryzen 7 7700, 8 cores, 16 threads. 5nm architecture. This thing was living in my old rig until the 9800 said, you gots to go. So he got evicted. But he's not gonna stay homeless for long because we're gonna pop him in this build. I checked the recent sold listings on eBay to see what these were going for, and it's going for approximately 170 bucks. So that's the value that I'm going to use in the pricing for this PC. Fair market price. No funny money, no pretending parts are free just because they came out of my PC. This PC is no slouch. It's fast, it's efficient, and it runs cool. And on DDR5, it flies. We're off to a very strong start with the CPU. Okay, this one is a combo deal, and I love a good combo deal. The MSI Pro B650S Wi-Fi motherboard and 16 gigs of Team Group DDR5 at 6000 megahertz. I bought this new from Newegg. I bought these together in a combo for $270. Let's unpack that. You're getting a full AM5 platform, PCIe 5, DDR5 support, built-in Wi-Fi for 270 bucks. In this market, that's not too bad. Seeing how 16 gigs of DDR5 is like 300 bucks on its own, I'd say we basically got the RAM for free. DDR5 6000 megahertz is the sweet spot for Ryzen 7000 series. This isn't just good enough RAM, it's actually what AMD recommended. You know, running at Expo profile, this system is tuned and ready. So 270 bucks, new for the whole platform, that's really good price to performance right now. Cooling duties are gonna be handled by the Thermalright Frozen Warframe 240, the black edition, because, you know, we have taste. This also came out of my old rig. I checked the sold listings on eBay to get, you know, an approximate value, and they're selling for around 30 bucks used. So that's what I'm going to use for the price of this. You know, Thermalright absolutely kills it in the budget cooling space. I mean, their price to performance has always been amazing. You know, this 240 AIO is going to perform well above its price point. It runs quiet, it looks good. The Ryzen 7 7700 is going to be cool just fine under this thing. It also has an LCD screen, which is really going to amp up the looks and make this build look a little bit more expensive than what it is. Next up, we got the power supply. Thermaltake 650 watts, 15 bucks, Facebook Marketplace. Yes, like you saw in my last video, I bought a ton of these. I tested them all. They all worked great. They have been working great. I've used over 50 of them. So if you go out and you buy a used PSU, please make sure that you are checking it. Buy yourself a cheap little PSU checker, bring it with you. Make sure all the numbers are checking out. And, you know, for 15 bucks, you can't really go wrong. You know, our graphics card that we're going to be using is not really super hungry when it comes to voltages. So this is going to be just fine. Next, we've got the 1TB NVMe SSD. So this here I got for $97 off eBay. Brand new, a 1TB going for, on the low end, 120 to around 150, which is the average. So, you know, we saved ourselves a good amount of money here. And I know you're always scared to buy used parts and things like that, but you know, on eBay, you know, you're going to be protected as the buyer. You know, you want to pick somebody that has a good reviews and things like that. I have never had a problem with any of the ones that I've bought, but if I did have a problem, I know that eBay would protect me. So this here's a 1TB. You know, just like in the last build, it was only 512. Black Ops 6 will take up half of a 512 on its own. So I think 1TB is definitely the entry point when it comes to DDR5 and the AM5 platform. And here we go, RTX 5060 overclocked. This is the Gigabyte Eagle version, 8 gigs, GDDR7 RAM. So yes, it's not the 16 gig variant, but unfortunately those are just astronomical in price. And I got this on Facebook Marketplace used for 230 bucks. If you look at it, I mean, it looks brand new. There's not one little iota speck of dust on this thing. So this has not seen much use. This is the Blackwell architecture, DLSS 4 with multi-frame generation, 4th gen RT cores. You know, this is so power efficient when it comes to other cards like the 3000 and the 4000 series. Our 650 watt power supply is going to be fine for this thing. The Ryzen 7 7700 along with this is going to be zero bottlenecks. This combo is going to be balanced. It's going to be fast, you know, and it costs us less than the 40 Super did, you know, at launch. What can you say, right? $230 on a 5060. I think that's a great buy. And housing all of this beauty is the Thermaltake View 270, another survivor from the old rig. eBay sold listings put these at around $40 used, so 40 bucks it is. The View 270 is a mid-tower with panoramic tempered glass front and side panel. It's roomy, it has good air support, and it'll show off the build really nicely. $40 for a case that looks like it costs 3 times that, that's bang for buck right there. That's what we do. You can find these and other cases like this on the used market, similar prices. Let's talk some numbers. Fortnite, 1080p performance setting, comfortably around 400 frames, with lows around 200, silky and smooth. Cyberpunk 2077 at 1080p on ray tracing low setting with DLSS set to auto. On the Transformer model, we averaged 109 frames per second, a low of 93. Black Ops 6 1080p with DLSS using the balance preset, 160 average and a low of 129. Arc Raiders at 1080p with DLSS set to auto CNN model, global illuminations low, and at a high preset, we got an average of 140 frames. Marvel Rivals 1080p medium preset DLSS, 119 frame average with a 1% of 82 frames. The Ryzen 7 7700 and the RTX 5060 are a perfectly matched pair. No bottleneck, no wasted headroom, no just clean, efficient, high-performance gaming. This is what bang for buck looks like when you level up. So there it is, $852. Ryzen 7 7700, AM5 platform, 16 gigs of DDR5, a 240mm AIO, an RTX 5060, 1 terabyte of storage, and a case that looks like it belongs in a studio setup. This is what happens when you're strategic. When you watch the market, when you don't just buy new because it's shiny, when you treat your old parts like they have value, because they do. If you're watching this and you've got an old rig sitting in the corner, go check those eBay sold listings. You might be sitting on a new build you don't even know about it. Again, guys, hit like if you like this video and maybe it helped you out. Subscribe for more builds like this and drop a comment. What parts are sitting in your pile of shame right now? Let's figure out what they're worth. I'm out. Happy building, guys.